welcome to Family Movie Night, where we'll be talking about what we watch for Family Movie Night. My name is Mike, and today we are talking about Shrek Forever After. This is the final Shrek movie, at least until the next one comes out, whenever that is. But Shrek Forever After is from 2010. The premise of this, Rumpelstiltskin tricks a midlife crisis burdened Shrek into allowing himself to be erased from existence and cast in a dark alternative timeline where Rumpelstiltskin rules supreme. This is starring all the same people that you would think would be in here, but then in addition to that, you've got Walt Doran as Rumpelstiltskin, John Hamm as Brogan. We've got a bunch of people playing witches. So Kristen Shaw, Mary Kay Place, Kathy Griffin, Jane Lynch, Meredith Vieira, among many others. So, all of this to say, Shrek Forever After is the fourth in what presumably nobody really knew was going to be like a franchise like this. So, this is 10 or 9 years after the first Shrek. So that is a lot of Shrek movies in a very short amount of time. I know for me, franchise fatigue started to set in at the third movie, but the fourth movie at least tried to do something different by introducing Rumpelstiltskin, even though Rumpelstiltskin has been introduced in other movies. But also, this is a what if storyline. Kind of, I'm not going to say it's the exact same thing as It's a Wonderful Life, but it kind of is like It's a Wonderful Life. And I think I appreciated the swing in the different direction for this. I definitely like this more than the third one, even though I don't think this is as highly rated as the third one. But for me, what I appreciated about this, because this is like a thumbs middle, probably, and for a fourth movie in a franchise, I'll take it. But what this is introducing is an alternate reality where Rumpelstiltskin is the one in charge and he is hunting ogres. And one of the things that I appreciated about this a lot is what how is Shrek going to get Fiona to fall in love with him even though they're different and they're not in the same place as they were before. So how is Shrek going to make this right somehow? Obviously, there's something in the contract that Rumpelstiltskin wrote up between him and Shrek that dictates, oh, here's the way out to void this contract. But I think one of the things that I appreciated about this is it takes the characters and put them in situations we haven't seen in a long time. So, for example, Puss in Boots, not exactly in the best shape. So, kudos to that. Um, and Shrek and Donkey, I think that's the pivotal relationship that I was very curious about to see how they were going to manage that because Shrek and Donkey didn't like they had no relationship in this. And that friendship is to me is just as important as Shrek and Fiona because before Shrek found Fiona and before he fell in love with Fiona, there was Donkey. And the fact that the two of them, have to relearn their friendship as well, I think mattered a great deal as well. Again, I think Rumpelstiltskin is a good villain. I think that this was kind of at the height of the Rumpelstiltskin hype between this and I think Once Upon a Time came out around the same time. Yeah, 2011. So this was around the time that Rumpelstiltskin was starting to get big. If Disney really wanted to capitalize on that, they probably would have made or should have made a Rumpelstiltskin movie around this time, but they didn't, and that's okay. It is what it is with that. One thing that also that I did like about this is kind of seeing a different side of the ogres and kind of seeing Shrek be not quite like a leader, but somebody who people could look up to and could, identify with in a different way. I think they turned down the toilet humor a little bit in this, not by a lot, but definitely not as bad as the third one. And I love the opening sequence of this as well, where Shrek and Fiona have their kids, and it's just the same old, same old. And their life isn't the same. And that's just, for a lot of parents, that's a story that resonates a lot about what on earth do people do when it feels like their life just feels like it's just passing them by and not a whole lot is going on. So I really resonated with the beginning where just everything with the birthday party, and in particular with at the birthday party where the kid was like, do the thing, do the thing. That's nails on a chalkboard. And I'm sure for any celebrity out there, especially celebrity who's had kind of like their one hit wonder type of moment, I'm sure that kind of rings true where everyone's like, do the thing. And it's like, no, I don't want to. I thought the animation in this was really strong as well. So there's a lot to like about this. In terms of a story, there's going to be probably a fair amount of people who don't resonate with a story like this. It's very different from other Shrek movies. And to me, I appreciate that. But for like kids and for somebody who's looking for something different or like just looking for the same thing, I'm sure that there's a fair amount of people who just didn't like it because it was so different and it was so out there. So I think one of the things that I think the main thing that I appreciate about this and what I learned about this is that choices have consequences and you have to deal with them if you make those decisions, especially ones that are emotional that maybe you don't exactly think through all the way. So I think for me, that's the thing that I learned, and that's the main takeaway that I have from this, and why I like this a little bit better than the third one, but it definitely does not get to the heights of the first or the second one, and that's fine. It is what it is with that. So those are my thoughts on Shrek Forever After. What did you think? Any thoughts on the Shrek series as a whole? Are we even looking forward to a new Shrek movie when that eventually comes out? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Family Movie Night. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website and follow our list labeled Family Movie Night on Letterboxd at ML Hilty2452. Check out the other shows in our network. We've got a lot of great content, really proud of the work that everyone's doing. So please check out the other shows in the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. And if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM Crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, happy watching, friends.